Hi there. NVIDIA, for some reason, thought it extremely important that you ought to hear every single micro inhalation that I did. That has not been the case thus far in most of our recordings. I do apologize if that has been a thing going forward. You might notice I sound a little stuffy. It's the air quality is just bad in my apartment at the moment. But besides that, yeah, just letting you know. Apologies in advance. Okay, bye. Hello? 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 Oh god, what am I doing? Oh wait, this isn't a stream, I don't have to do that. Let's start this off properly. Hi, I technically forgot to make a video for today. I will be editing some and releasing them later this week. The backlog still has a good 2 days on it. um, I have been obsessed with a small project of mine in which I was looking at a video game that I used to play quite a while ago, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I did a little build project? And that this is kind of all I've been doing for the past 3 days. It takes quite a while, creative obviously, because I would be here until 2030 trying to get this done in survival. I've been doing this for 3 days, I think, at least, on and off, mostly on. And I will tell you the longest part of these builds, singularly, this build specifically, is the stained glass window. Hand picking and coordinating and copying 256 discrete blocks. Look at this. Look at this close up. You just can't. Let me give you appreciation for the complication here. These are. This is going to be an organ later, but until that happens, look at this, and that's just a copy of that one. My only saving grace, at least, is that each of these I only have to do once, and then my beautiful chiseling mod takes care of the rest for me. Because even having the designs finalized, doing these by hand again a second time would strip years off my life from the stress load. I do. There is one more set. I have another doubling set. I'm currently. These are doubled up. There is supposed to be a second design that's happening. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that because it's a bit complex, even with this level of detail. There is one more level. We could go to 512, but then I would be doing that by hand. Pixel art is to be respected, my friends. I am a veteran of it, and even so, this is challenging. So yeah, here's the inside of the church. We got all the designs, half of the designs done, and then there's the big, huge thing. I did these little pretty things up here, the little windows that technically aren't even shown in game. Largely because if you're inside a building, the top layer of the roofing is just not rendered, basically. So they don't generally concern themselves with it. I think there is theoretically a second level to this place. Or at the very least, the roof is quite tall. So we have that. This is going to take up all 4 squares, and I'm dreading the task, to be quite honest with you. We have the little mausoleum here, the little coffin from that one quest. It's RuneScape, by the way, in case you were wondering. And I just got started. I did some shelving here that's about halfway done. I am forbidding myself from touching anything while I'm showing it off, otherwise this video will be a lot longer. I just got started on this. I was doing the fencing. Now the fencing is a little bit complicated because I basically had to redo this wall. But there is, I forget what the mod is called, I'll put it in description. There's a really handy mod that lets me like push and pull. So for example, if I just do this and left click, it will push it further away and then erase the tracks. And if I right click it, it will do the opposite. seems to have a preference for which angle it works from. This was giving me a little bit of trouble. I've found I have to chisel blocks sometimes to stop grass from spawning randomly, but if and you have to put flowers on, you can chisel the block afterwards, but if I were to like hit this, it would despawn the entire bush, and that was just not good because it updated all of the parameters and stuff. But yeah, this is my build. This is what I've been working on. I apologize. I was streaming a little bit of this, but I kept working on it offline, and I've been hankering for socialization. So it's difficult, isn't it? Because you don't really have a clear delineation of when should I start streaming or when should I start recording or not. Given the length of this project, it would be like, I think, at least half a terabyte in raw video footage. It would be nice to do a time lapse, maybe, possibly. Maybe for one leg of it, I could still do that. But yeah, I've largely just been working on this. There is a convention happening later this week, so it's up in the air. I will have to do a couple. I will do. Yeah, it shouldn't be too risky. I will play some single player again later on this week and continue working on the backlog and schedule some videos because I'll likely be wiped after that as well. But this week, next week should be secure. And I suppose I'll find a couple of nice little video games to throw out on Tuesday and Thursday to lengthen the total lives of those things. And yeah, this is what I've been working on. I am very excited to see it come to fruition. One of my favorite parts, I think, is going to be working on the river. Oh, the one part I did have to remodel this twice. So essentially, I had to rotate it once according to the orientation of the map, and then I realized that I'd done it back to front. So the church was actually the wrong way around, and then I had to flip it so it was facing north. Later on, I'm going to be discovering and playing with world edit tools, because to be quite specific, you'll notice like how the texture here is all different and stuff. This looks absolutely perfect for me moving that over there and then having this be the swamp area. So I am going to have to figure that out and how to make these like strange patches and stuff function. Whereas you have the desert, which I am technically building on, I think, or at least some strange manner of prairie, and that'll be where I should put the desert. And then there's these random pot marks, because I'm in creative. If I touch a block, it just dies, and every now and again while I'm chiseling, there are casualties. Whenever I place blocks that aren't part of world generation, though, there's a chance for grass to just randomly apparate. And I think so long as I place the grass, it won't grow into a different stage of its life cycle. I am discovering mods, if anyone has suggestion for plants mods that are relevant to the northwest of Europe, because that's the game is largely based by. It's created by. RuneScape was created by basically two brothers in a trench coat in 2000. No, that's a lie. Devious Mud at some point. I think it was 1997, and then they came out with old school RuneScape or RuneScape Classic, and then at some point we had RuneScape, old school RuneScape. Oh god. You had Devious Mud, then you had what is now referred to as RuneScape Classic, which is very out of date and is I don't know how to finish that sentence. But then you have RuneScape, old school RuneScape, which is And then you have updated RuneScape, which was after 2008, I think, and now you have RuneScape 3, technically, because yeah. Um, yes. I'm going to end the video now and probably continue working on this. Any comments? Any questions? I gladly welcome them. I love to indulge curiosity of any sorts. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Until next time. Oh, there is one last thing. Actually, I lied. There is one last thing I would like to introduce you to, and I believe it's over here. I found this. I found a little rabbit in the trinket layer, and it had a little sign for him. This is Haggis. He's been watching me work. Very, very important supervision job, of course. No, that really is all. Bye.